Hey guys, today we are going to go ahead and write a Linux kernel module. So we're going to actually write the code for it and we are going to build it and install it. So today we're working on Ubuntu because it's a pretty standard, generic, and common system. This process is going to be almost exactly identical on every other Linux distro except for the build tools that you'll have to install. You might have different package names and a different package manager on a different distro. So first thing, before we install the build tools, we're going to run sudo apt update just to get the latest repo info. Now, all these tools are already installed, but I'm basically just going to show you what you would have to do. So yeah, it's up to date, and install all of these tools. Basically just build essentials and Linux headers, unsurprisingly. And they're already all up to date. So there you go. If you don't have them, you'll have to run that. So in any case, first thing we're going to do is edit hello.c. So no files in the current directory right now. So vi hello.c. If you want to know where you can copy paste this code or any of these commands, check the link in the description for a linked document that would be my notes. You can just copy and paste those just like I'm doing. So I'm going to paste this code right in here, and this exact same code that I'm pasting, you can copy and paste it too right from that linked document. So I want this all on one page. So I'm going to remove some of these spaces. It's a little bit messier when I remove the spaces. But yeah, I just want to make sure everything's on one page. I have it zoomed in as much as I can so that people can actually read the text on the video to make sure the text isn't too small. But I also figured I could fit the whole thing on one page, so it's easier to basically see everything at once, right? So anyways, starting at the top here, we include 3 files: init, module, and kernel. We're going to need those for those are just some basic things we're going to need for kernel module functionality. And next we are going to just add some meta info like the module license, the author, the description, and the module version. Real simple stuff here. Just fill in the values that you like. Like I called the author Silly Snail just because this is an example, right? So this module does 2 things only. This is the Hello World version of a kernel module, so it doesn't do a whole lot. All it does is when it's inserted, when you insert the kernel module, it's going to say hello kernel module loaded. And when you unload the module or remove it, it's going to say goodbye kernel module unloaded. It's not going to print these out to the terminal. It's going to write them out to a kernel log, right? So first thing you have here, this first function, it's static and returns an integer value, and it is called hello init. And this is, so this, all it does is do a print k to kern info and says hello kernel module loaded. That's it. And then it returns a value of 0 on success, which it sure should be successful. Anyways, next function here, you have hello exit. And all this does, and it's void, so it has a void return value, doesn't return anything. Like the previous function returned 0, this one doesn't return anything. All it does is print out goodbye kernel module unloaded to kern info, right? And then we register both of those functions. So module entry and exit points, right? So module init, your entry point is going to be hello init. That's the function name of this function right up here. And the module exit, we're going to register hello exit, which is the function name of the second function we talked about right here, right? So we register, basically we do, all we do is include some header files, set some meta info, define 2 functions where all they do is just print out a string. Each one just does the same thing almost. And then we register those 2 functions. That's all we're doing in this source file. So we're going to go ahead and write WQ to write quit. We're going to save that source file. And next we're going to need a make file. So we're going to copy and paste some code in there, and we're going to say vi make file. And we're going to paste this in here. So, we define an object here, combine hello C into hello.ko, which is a kernel object. So this is going to be the module itself. You're going to see a lot of files. We'll show you the files in the directory after we build it. Define 2 variables here, the kdir, so lib modules is a builder for kernel modules, and we are going to define pwd, basically just your current directory. We're going to use those variables below. Now we have two build targets. We have all and clean. So all will actually build stuff. So it runs make, and it will it has these two parameters, the build directory and their current directory where your source code is, and it says modules. So make modules. This will build all the modules. And now the clean will basically just, it does a make clean. It cleans everything up with those same parameters. So pretty straightforward. We have all and clean. This one will build, and this one will clean up everything in the build directory, right? And we're going to show you how those work in just a second here. So we're going to right quit. So save our make file there. So we have in the current directory, we have a C source file and a make file. So now we're ready to go ahead and build it. So to build it, we're going to say make, and this will compile. This compiles our kernel module, and right there we have compiled our kernel module. And you see there's a bunch of object files and temporary files inside, like this thing and this thing, all saved inside our directory that we're in. So whatever directory you're in, if you were trying to create this in a directory with a lot of other stuff, this is kind of going to create a mess. So you're better off creating a separate directory for the project. I'm doing this in my home directory because this is a test machine and I have nothing else in there. But if you're doing this for real, you'd want to create a project directory, right? So anyways, hello.ko, this is the actual kernel module. So this is the actual kernel module. If you want to distribute it, you would give that to other people or put it in a package or whatever else. That's the thing you want. That's the binary that you want to distribute, right? That's your kernel module itself. So that's also the file we want to insert. So we are going to go ahead and say sudo insmod to insert the module and that name of the file, the kernel module file, hello.ko. So we have installed it. So we can say lsmod grep hello, and we can verify that the module is loaded. Now the lsmod command, if you're not familiar, that will just list out all the modules on your system. So if we grep for hello, we're going to find the one that matches that string, which is our hello module that we created, right? So another thing we can do is we can run sudo dmsg to see kernel messages. We're going to use tail to see the last 10 kernel messages. And when we do that, we see the last kernel message that was printed is hello kernel module loaded. That's from our first function that we defined that just prints out that string, letting us know that the module was loaded, right? So next thing we are going to do is we're going to say sudo rmmod hello. So rmmod will remove that module. And now that we've removed that module, we're going to use that dmsg command again, and we're going to notice that there's another message. So we have our first message for when the module is loaded, and the second message, goodbye kernel module unloaded. So that's when the module was unloaded. So just when we unloaded it, it printed out that message, right as we would have expected. And if you go ahead and lsmod grep for hello, nothing there because the module is not loaded anymore. Now, one last thing I want to show you real quick. See how we have this mess in this directory here? We can run make clean to clean up that mess. And now if we check our current directory, we're left with only the source file and the make file. So what you might want to do if you were building something, you might want to move this or copy it to another directory where it would be distributed, and then you would clean everything out of this directory here. We just clean this stuff right out using a make clean. So yeah, that's basically it. That's everything. That's basically a Hello World Linux kernel module. That's how to insert it and how to manage it and how to write the code for it, how to compile it, right? So hopefully you found this useful or interesting. Might want to give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if I missed anything or there's anything you want to say. Anything you want to put down there in the comments, just leave a comment down below. And yeah, also hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on our other great content. We do a lot of Linux stuff. We do code, we do servers, we do Windows, Mac OS, we do hardware, software, electronics, Raspberry Pis, 3D printing, lots of good tech stuff you don't want to miss out on. So definitely make sure you subscribe. And that's about it for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.